You are now listening to After the Buzzer, a weekly podcast about the National Basketball Association, keeping you up to date on the most popular trends and stories within the league, and everything basketball. Now, here are your hosts, Shomer El Ben Yisrael and Joshua Counts. And my hat looked a little crazy. I'm sorry.
Yeah, you're looking like a dope fiend. No, I'm playing.
Yeah. No. Yo, when I go back to work tomorrow, unfortunately where I work, there's a lot of dope fiends around. I don't even want to envision. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of After the Buzzer with your host, ATB SHOM, aka SHOM Diggity, aka SHOM what you want call it. And I'm also here with my main man. He's in the damn building today. The building.
Yeah.
ATB Josh is now here. You feel me?
What's good, everybody? What's good? What's good?
Well, how you doing, man?
I'm doing good, bro. I'm doing good, man. It's the end of the weekend. March Madness is officially started. Basketball season is near. It's be on the road to the playoffs, man. The playoffs put you started. And I just realized, yo, we almost a couple months from the end of the school year in summertime, bro. Yes. We about to be in April and like next week.
Yeah, the year's been moving by like it's been moving by too quick. Like, yo, it's literally really past February. We're about to be done in March. April's gonna be here. Next thing you know, June's gonna be here, and it's like, yo, 6 months into the new year.
Yeah.
This is crazy. This is crazy.
Yeah, it's exciting. But we got a great episode today for y'all, man. We got some special guests in the building, some very close friends of our Rowan alumni, or at Rowan Radio 89.7 WGLS FM Hall of Famer in the building today, man. First up, we got Danny Ryan.
Going on, fellas? Thank you for having me.
Of course, former sports director of Rowan Radio. And we have technical difficulties because our friend LlOYD is having trouble.
I expect nothing less from that man. I expect nothing less.
You might be making something very brand new on this show today, so we're gonna see.
So I'm gonna pass it off to my boy Shomer for real quick while I get LlOYD back.
Oh man. But anyways, like I said, welcome Danny to the show, man. We've been talking about you on the show for a very long time. We say we gotta get Danny on the show because he is one of the biggest advocates for Philadelphia sports. As you can see on this hat, it says Philadelphia right there. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what team that's really, is that representing the Phillies? Is that representing the?
Yeah, I think it's a little blue Phillies cap. My buddy got it for me for my birthday. It's, it's a unique one, so I decided to rock it for the show today.
You see, I see it's Phillies everything. I'm just noticing the baseball and the ball right there. That's beautiful.
I got to represent the Sixers too, though. Got a little nice signed AI picture right there,
Hey, let's go.
I got Sixers in the building.
I told you, that's what I'm saying. One of the biggest Sixers advocates out there. But I can tell you, like, as a fan, he is one of the craziest delusional fans that I could possibly ever met. I thought Knicks fans were bad, but no. Wait till you go down to Philly, bro.
Philly fans are very delusional. I will say.
Hey, it's not they
got a right. They got a right to be delusional. They got a right to be.
I was winning the Super Bowl. That's yeah.
Man, I was out in the streets for every single celebration. I'm talking NFC Championship game. I went and stormed the streets on Broad Street. When they won the Super Bowl, I stormed the streets. It was a madhouse. It was a jungle. I mean, I was inches away from getting shot with a firework. You got people just hugging you left and right. I'm hugging strangers, but I would never trade it for the world. It was quite the experience. And I was able to do it a little bit in 2017. In 2018, but not to that degree. I am of legal drinking age now, so I had a little bit more fun. Got some adult lubricant in me. You know what I'm saying? And got out there, and I was having a good time. But go Birds, baby! We're on top of the world. And how about that ass beating in the Super Bowl? Come on.
Yeah, that was rough. But before we get to that, man, we got to bring in a second special guest. This is the first time we ever had two special guests in the building, Shomer. We got our homie, our brother from another mother, LlOYD Wilson.
Nah, the intro is amazing.
I do my best, man. I do my best, bro.
Keep those eyes on the road, all right, LlOYD?
Please do.
First one to join After the Buzzer through the phone. The first
we are not. ATB is not held responsible for any injuries LlOYD may suffer at all. Just putting that disclaimer out there. We ain't getting sued.
Hey, you signed a waiver. You signed a waiver.
The moment he came up, he signed a waiver.
I certainly did.
But Lloyd, how's it been, bro? I feel like it's been like what 2.5 years since we spoke, bro. How is life treating you, man? How's it
Life
going?
is life, and life is doing great. I mean, as y'all know, this world of sports media is it's a tough one, but it's one we signed up
Yes,
for, and we're still grinding. We're loving every second of it. It's about the
yes,
journey.
that's what's up. That's what's up,
Hmm.
man. Wow, for context for audience, man, we had LlOYD does basketball, has called games for volleyball, basketball, football, and Danny Ryan as well has done it. And Danny, you've been at the big ones, man. You was at WIP for an internship. Tell us,
Yep.
how was that, bro?
Yeah, part-time job actually. It was really fun, man. I actually left there this past summer. I was there for a little bit over a year, but the amount of experience, the connections I made, and just the type of events I was able to work for, remote broadcasts, and the people I was able to work with in the studio. It was definitely, would not trade that experience for the world. So it was a great time. I got to meet Brandon Graham before he retired. This obviously like last week or a week and a half ago. A lot of cool figures in Philly sports media. So it was really, really cool. I can't lie.
That's what's up. That's what's up, man. That is a goal that most of us are still working for. Danny and LlOYD continue to pave the way. They were our alums. Especially LlOYD. LlOYD was there before all of us. Definitely paved the way. And Danny being a former sports director, Rowan Radio 89.7 WGLS FM. Shout out to Derek and Leo, man. Definitely paved the way for Shomer and myself. So thank y'all for give y'all your flowers, and thank y'all for pulling up the ATB for our baby right here that we've been trying to build, our platform. But man, let's talk some sports, man. Let's get right to it, bro. We near the end of the NBA playoff races here. Danny, I'm gonna give it to you, man. Let's call it the Sixers not making the playoffs. Like Sixers not making playoffs. So I just want to tell, like, what is the state like in the city of Philadelphia right now with the Sixers fan? How disappointing has this season been?
Yeah, I mean, with the amount of hype coming into the season, it's definitely been a letdown, to say the least. I mean, you sign Paul George, you sign all these impact role players, Caleb Martin, Eric Gordon, Gershon Yabusele, Andre Drummond. I mean, you get essentially a squad that's going to look like they can really compete in the East and at least be a top 4, top 5 seed. And right now they sit at number 12 at 23-47. Paul George looks more cooked than ever. I mean, he's trying these mid-range contested shots, these pull-up threes, and I've never seen more bricks since Ben Simmons was shooting mid-range shots during his days in Philadelphia. So, and then obviously you have the elephant in the room, Joel Embiid. He can't stay healthy. I do feel for the man, to be honest with you. He gets so much hate and he gets bashed a ton for being hurt, not being able to stay on the court, but there's nothing really he can do. I mean, his knee is swelling up every single day. And, no matter how many injections, no matter how much physical therapy, that guy just can't stay healthy. But we do have two diamonds in the rough. You got my main man, Tyrese Maxey, who looks like
Baller.
an absolute certified star. And then you got what I like to consider Tyrese Maxey Jr. and Jared McCain, except he can shoot the 3-ball a little bit better.
Mm-hmm.
He was tearing the league apart before he went down with, I believe, an ACL injury, some sort of knee injury. And,
it was definitely ACL.
So I'm looking forward to see what he brings next year when he's fully healthy. But the tank is on, baby. Let's hope we can get close to that number 1 pick, if not the number 1 pick, and capture the flag.
That's what you're. So wait, time out.
I see what he did there.
No.
Get to the number 1 pick, but not to get healthy next season.
Well, I'm gonna let LlOYD, when he gets out the elevator from the looks of it, go. But I don't think they're gonna be good next year, as far as my concern. I think, as Danny said, he's gonna be power napping before he starts this, bro. I said the Sixers gonna be power napping for the next couple of years. I think the process is over. Shomer, me and you have talked about this. I call it that buffer wheel. Like when you watch on YouTube back in 2008, 2007, that long buffer wheel that would never just finish. That's the process. It's done. It's over. It's dead. You might need to start exploring options on what to do with Joel Embiid. I saw a report came out that they was looking at options with trading Paul George. Paul George has done more podcast episodes than he's played this season, bro. Then he said he was gonna stop podding. We're focused on the season, and ultimately got hurt.
It didn't turn out that way. But.
Yeah. He decided to stop podcasting. We were 18 games under 500, and the season was pretty much over. And then he got hurt again. It's like that was the biggest joke of all time, by the way. I was really excited for this guy. I knew there was risk. He was 34 years old. Mm-hmm. Obviously, he was a high flyer in his younger years with the Thunder and the Pacers. But I thought maybe he had a little something left in him. Played 74 games last year. Still showed signs he could be at least a really effective 3-and-D guy in this league, created his own shot. And he's done nothing but disappoint me. So I hope they do trade him in the offseason. I don't know who's going to take him. As for Joel Embiid, I feel like the best case might just be to keep him at this point. You're not going to get the true value for him. And we know when he's healthy, he's, let's be honest, guys, a top 5 player in the NBA, if not top 3 player in the NBA.
Facts.
So it's just, I feel like that's kind of the risk you have to run with Joel Embiid. So we'll see what happens next year, but I don't think they'll get the first overall pick. It would be beautiful if they did, but who even knows if Cooper Flag is going to declare for the draft? Maybe he stays another year.
So he did get hurt for audience that do know. Cooper Flag went down, I want to say, a couple weeks before March Madness with an ankle injury. As far as I know, he has not played yet.
No, he's playing. He's playing.
Oh, he's playing. Okay, he's playing now. Okay,
he got a little scratch in his eye playing against Baylor. I don't know what the score is right now, but they were playing against Baylor.
So he is playing right now. He is yet projected to be number 1 pick. He's definitely a baller. I could see him going to the. I think the Sixers, if they could get it, he would flourish in Philadelphia, especially with a star like Tyrese Maxey next to him. But as of right now, I don't think that's ever happening for Philadelphia. Lloyd, you've been kind of quiet. I know you was making a transition from the road to your crib now.
I know.
Any thoughts on, I know you're a big Sixers hater in Philadelphia. Any thoughts right now on the situation in Philadelphia and what's brewing down there at Wells Fargo?
I promise you I'm not a hater. I promise. It's just more
Cap.
when the truth comes from me, they don't like it. They don't like it. But man, Mr. Ryan has said a lot in his tenure just now. And, when this whole thing came out with Paul George, I was like, I told him about it before or after the signing. And then he was like, no, you're out of your mind. Like, he's still good. As he said, there's a lot left in the tank. And I'm saying to him, no, I'm not feeling it. You guys got the wrong guy. And, all in all, I turned out to be right. I don't think they like it coming from me. I think that's the only thing.
Ironically, I said the same thing too multiple times when Paul George came, and a lot of Sixers fans were campaigning. We got it. We going to the ring. And I was just like, okay.
Listen, I never said we were going to the chip. I never said we were going to the chip. But
I'm not saying you, but there were people in my timeline and mutuals in my circles that was saying it. And Shomer, you met Mo. I watched Clipper games, bro, because of Mo. I watched the Clippers games. Who is the biggest Clipper fan I know in Jersey is my best friend Mo. And I've seen this story before with Paul George. So I'm like, oh, he's going to come to Philly and think it's going to be a change from LA to Philly? No, bro, it's about to be 10 times worse. And and I turned out to be right, just like Lloyd, because there was a scene, SmackDown. Y'all know I'm a big wrestling fan. SmackDown comes to Philadelphia. Paul George is at the event. They give him a title belt. They put the camera on him. They rain down the booze on this boy.
Come Sunday, they have been loving the action ringside. Of course, these Philly.
You would have thought he was John Cena the way they booed him.
That was ridiculous. I didn't expect Philly to no matter where he was at, because there was also the other video of him being caught in traffic during
during the Super Bowl. Somebody said
he could catch a stray at any moment from any just for Philly fans being out there.
What was he thinking, by the way, driving during the Super Bowl celebration? You think he's just gonna be able to get through these streets? Okay.
The funny part is somebody said he might as well get out because that's the closest thing he gonna feel to a championship parade. And I was crying so hard, bro. But
Hey,
then you're like, nah.
All I gotta say is it's not looking good, but the jury's still out. All right, as far as we know, he's not going to get traded because nobody's going to want his bum ass, and we're gonna figure out if he has anything left in the tank, if he can stay on the court next year. But he's getting these injections, he's going through these procedures, so we'll see.
I find it so hilarious that the same team that I root for, our two teams met in the most important time of the season. The postseason. In a dismantled look, I'm gonna say this: a dismantled team versus a dismantled man. You tell me the difference. The team was messed up and dismantled, but the man, your man, was still standing. Even if it was on one knee, he was still standing.
Yeah, I was gonna say he was on one leg.
He was on one leg.
And he took out
one knee, and he still got 4T. That's what I'm saying. And guess what? your boy took down my Mitch. Like my man, Mitchell Robinson is only reason that man was clamped up. Because Hardestein wasn't doing it, Achua
Yeah.
wasn't doing it.
Yes.
Not Hardestein, Mitchell Robinson. And I told you and Nick, Mr. Earnshaw, this years
Shout
ago.
out Nick.
I said this to y'all years ago. Mitchell Robinson, put that on locks. He put it in a box. Because guess what? It got so bad, he had to pull him down and mess his ankle up. It got that bad. We all know, we've all played guys.
We
where
saw
you hurt,
that.
you gotta hurt somebody just because they busted you know what. And so I'm like, you know what?
No,
It's
so-
okay.
But you gotta understand this throughout the series. This is the one thing I can't say about that series. Our team kind of showed us, maybe just me as a Knicks fan, but showed us that we are not as strong as I think that we should be, due to the fact that we did we go to Game 7 with Philly? I think it was
No, we went to 6. We went to 6.
But with just one guy. Well, Tyrese Maxey was doing good too, but with one guy, he was busting their ass the entire time.
He was cooking in that series, bro.
You know what I mean?
And what Embiid was still giving us on all the drugs in the world with one eye open. He was still cooking, and it took him ripping Mitchell Robinson's ankle out of his own leg to stop him. But listen, that's a good segue, Shomer. We gotta talk about the Knicks
because that right there really just showed me, okay, great. Now we made the move for Cat because we got rid of the whole Villanova barrage.
Yeah, we got rid of that plan quick. We got rid of that plan quick.
Which I was still disappointed. I knew that was going to happen.
The last thing I'm gonna say about the Sixers, Tyrese Maxey should have been a Knick.
Yes.
If you remember the draft.
Yo, Maxey, wherever you go, bro.
The draft.
Just come to the Knicks, bro. We got you.
He was supposed to be and Daniel knows this. He was supposed to be a Knick that year, Daniel.
Daryl.
I'm actually just now being informed about this now because I thought we had our own little version in Emmanuel Quickly at the time.
But
Quickly is nice, but he's not Maxey. Maxey developed fast.
Right, but he was the lesser version of that.
Yeah.
Between the two guards, because I mean they pretty much copied each other's game. One is more athletic than the other. They pretty much have the same base shooting form if you really look at it, but Maxey is better. So overall, Tyrese Maxey was the better guard. But I'm just reminding Daniel that Tyrese Maxey was supposed to be in New York, not at Wells Fargo.
Again, for Max, he's having a great year for Sixers. 26 points a game, man. 43% from the field, 33% from three.
Do they have more than 20 wins?
Say again?
Yeah, they do. They got like
20.
They got more. Yeah, they got 23. They like the 11th or 12th seed right now.
12. Yeah, it's rough out there right now. But I don't think Lloyd was in here when I did my little intro in the beginning. We now have two Tyrese Maxeys. Jared McCain, he got hurt this year.
We know about McCain.
He can shoot the three ball better than Maxey ever could. So I think he's going to be a demon.
Mr. TikTok.
Yeah, paints his nails and still drops 30 on your favorite team.
TikTok is bucket, man. I'll tell you that.
Yeah,
I'm with Mr. McCain.
He can do all them TikToks all he want. He could, as long as he continue to hoop. They don't care.
You don't care. Yeah,
they don't care.
Just now.
He can start wearing makeup. If he's dropping 35 on your favorite team, I'm cool with it. That's all I care.
I like watching Jared McCain. As long as he starts, in fact, they think keep doing the TikToks. As long as you get 20, keep doing the TikToks.
And we might not re-sign him, but how about this Quentin Grimes? Somebody you guys know very, very well. How about him?
I did not know.
Look, I knew. I'm not gonna front to you because
I was not familiar with his game.
I made a video beforehand, like years ago, saying that him and Deuce wasn't shit. Okay, so I know. And then when I seen what Quentin was doing in the summer league, okay, then it translated into the regular season, and then we traded him, which actually that one really hurt because oh my gosh, what he could be right now for us, be insane. But
I don't know what do we give up to get him? Oh, we got OG, I think, right?
Yeah, OG
trade.
It was a 3. I think it was a 3.
I wasn't mad about it because OG fit the team better at that time, and he's proved to be a great asset. That's why we paid him over $100 million to do it. So
one thing we can all agree on: Nico Harrison is a dumbass.
Oh yeah,
No,
fact.
Yeah.
This
Fact.
one.
He'll be fired by the summer. He'll be fired. It's over.
Yeah,
If he still got a job by then, at this point, you might as well hire me to run basketball operations.
Once you got PJ Washington in your corner, you're not going nowhere. You know, PJ was sticking up for you. He's like, you know what? We're tired of hearing we want Nico fired. You know, it's like he's sticking.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, the trades happen. We understand we have a new team now. All that fire Nico stuff, we're sick and tired of hearing it. We just want to go out there and play. We want the fans to support us, no matter who's in the floor. So
We want Nico fired. You know, it's like he's sticking up for his GM. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's what you're supposed to do. But the reality
Jason
is,
Kidd,
no.
Jason Kidd was like shocked when it happened.
Yeah.
You know,
I mean, you saw him at the
I feel
press
that.
conference.
At
So
this
how-
point, yeah, bro. The idea is I wanna agree with the plan is the win now thing. And me and Showman talked about this, I think on the last episode or 2 episodes ago, that they got a window to win. It's just that then now that it feels like I'm gonna say this since now that I didn't think the Lakers gonna be this great now that immediately after they picked up Luka, that window has nearly been shut, bro. It's nearly been shut. I don't think they got a window no more.
No.
I don't think the Mavericks got a window no more.
I mean, they're playing AD in the G League to get him back ramped up for
Which
the
is
NBA,
crazy, right? Isn't that
Yeah, that's
crazy?
insane.
Wow.
Yeah,
I know it's not. My bad. I know it's not the same, but it's a crazy idea. Imagine if they traded Paul George for Klay Thompson. I'm just saying. I know the salaries don't match. The salaries don't match.
The salaries
But I'm just
don't
saying,
match
like,
at
you
all.
never
But
know.
Philly
Like,
would
that could be a
Philly would say
possibility.
yes to that to get Klay Thompson. Philly would say yes to that.
Yeah,
I'm
but
not
he'd
that
be
down bad.
He'd be cheaper, but it would kind of be like a net negative. I don't know. Klay Thompson, he can get hot every now and again, but he's really not much at this point.
They not that down bad. They ain't that.
I feel like
bad.
you get more consistency out of Klay Thompson than Paul George.
Yeah,
Klay Thompson ain't gonna do no podcast every week.
Yeah, the thing that sucks with Paul George is he hyperextended his knee twice in the same month this year. So then that automatically put him behind the 8 ball. And then, from there on out, he was never able to
He also
work
had
out.
the preseason injury, don't forget.
Yeah.
I didn't know he hyperextended it twice.
Yeah, the same knee.
1 month.
Wow,
That's why he was out for the majority of the year. He was just like, I think he missed like 41 games or something like that.
But that injury alone can put you back. And then to do it again, oh, yeah.
That's why they shut him down at that point.
Yeah, that leg is done for the year. He's like, just take a rest, my brother. Yeah, take that knee, put it down.
Go back to the podcast this year. You good.
Put the headset back on.
Start it right back up again.
Go right back to the podcast and we good. We're good, bro. It's
3 weeks
over.
later.
Season done. But that was the Sixer talk, man. We got to also talk about the Knicks since we got LlOYD in the building, the fellow Knicks fan, man. LlOYD, I'm going to be honest with you, bro. Showman knows how I feel. I was hyped up for the season, man. I was hyped when we got Cat. I was hyped when we got Mikal. I thought this is it. This is going to be the year of the Knicks. The Knicks going to go toe-to-toe with Boston. It's going to be a 2-horse race in the East. Boy, was I wrong. And then as the season progressed, I'm like, I'm not worried. And then came after the All-Star, post-All-Star. That's when I became worried. I said, this team's not good. This team is a bunch of frauds. This team, no, fraud, LlOYD. I almost called you Floyd.
He's the delusional Knicks fan. You got to remember that. Remember,
I know, but
Knicks fan he's the delusional.
LlOYD,
he's gonna still.
They are frauds.
There's no positivity in this. But go ahead.
This is why they're frauds, and this is an important stat. I know it's the regular season, but this is an important stat. And I know where you're going. I know where I'm going with this. They ain't beat Boston or Cleveland all year. That is concerned. They ain't beat no top team in both the East and the West all year. That's concerning to me, man. That's concerning. You got the starters averaging the most minutes in the entire league in the Knicks. You got Rick Brunson yelling at Tom Thibodeau to put the bench in. For some reason, Tom Thibodeau thinks that the bench players are the fans who just sit next to the players. Like you got other people that you can play. You got depth here. If you see Cat Williams huffing and puffing on his hands on his knees, that means he might need a rest, bro. And I've come to the conclusion that it's time for however the season ends. And I think it's going to be most likely second round exit, even though people think we might be losing Detroit. I still got the Knicks over Detroit if they meet you, because that's the projected matchup in the playoff right now. They're losing to Cleveland. They're losing to Boston, probably in a 5-game series, 6-game series. 6 against Cleveland, 5 against Boston. They're gonna get gentlemen swept by Boston. That's how bad it's gonna be. Tom Thibodeau, when this season over, needs to go. Pack your bags and get out. It's time for a new coach. We've reached the ceiling of the Tom Thibodeau era, bro.
I want to hear Danny's thoughts on this because I want him to try to look from an outwards perspective other than, Mr. Philadelphia himself. Because, we're actually seeing solid basketball play from the Knicks. Not great, but solid. And
Solid.
I was to respond to you, Josh, and I'm going to give it to Danny because I want to hear his thoughts. I'm not saying that this team is flawed. This team is very flawed. However, I think we'll find out who this team is internally. And I say internally because defense is all about effort. That's really all defense is. It's about effort, it's about awareness, and it's about actually just paying attention. If we see somebody crossing our face and we're in a zone, more likely you're going to communicate to whomever zone he's going into, whoever's area he's going in. If you're playing man, switch it. If you're not playing, if you are playing man, switch it. If you can't switch it, fight over the screen, communicate. That's what all the film study and everything is for. And the reason I say we'll figure out who this team is in the first round or internally, I'm going to say that because this team is tired. Whether they want to admit it, they will deny it, whatever the case may be. I mean, that story about Mikal Bridges talking to Tom Thibodeau a few weeks ago, that's not just out of the blue. I mean, we all know, like, obviously the story comes from somewhere. So they're tired, but we all know that playoff basketball is a lot different than regular season. Towards the end of the season, you probably want to go into the playoffs, obviously on a higher note rather than a mid note. But when playoff basketball starts and it really matters and it really counts, that's when we'll find out who this team is. In regards to Tom Thibodeau's job, I will say this, and you can you can have me on the record for this. If he gets bounced first round, he will not be fired, but his job will be in question. And the reason I say that is because Leon Rose and Tom Thibodeau came into this thing together.
That's a great
and since they came into this thing together, when they first redid this or revamped this entire team, it was a selection of candidates. One was the guy from the Nets, Kenny Atkinson.
Kenny Atkinson.
He was one. It was Tom. It was a very low, I guess, bar of people that wanted to have Mark Jackson, but he was also in the mix. And I think at one point it was the thought of Steve Kerr. It was the thought. It was the thought. So with that being said, they're pretty much in this until the wheels fall off. And
it's just that it's like I get it. I do get it. They came in together type shit, right? But at the end of the day, it's just we're trying to win. Right now, the Knicks look better than they've been in the past decade. This is their best chance. Like they're relevant again. People want to see them. The Garden is electric. The players play with heart. They embody that New York Knicks spirit, bro. The legends come out to support them. I think they got the best alumni to come see them. We'll come watch them in the playoff. Patrick Ewing and Koo all pull up to see them, bro. But now you gotta win. Now you gotta win. Like we can't. Boston's not going anywhere anytime soon. Cleveland just showed us. Oh, yo, we here with y'all too. We gonna be seeing Boston. The East is going to continue to get better. Jury's still out when it comes to Indiana's going to come out. Orlando's going to come up. Detroit is arriving. They're on the come up. Cade Cunningham has had his best season, and he's my vote for most improved player of the year. The East is going to get better. So now the Knicks got to find a way to keep up with Boston. Danny, now that you're back, any thoughts on the Knicks situation? What is the future looking like for the Knicks, especially in terms of this playoffs?
Regardless of what was said,
you good.
So of course my computer wanted to restart at 5 o'clock, so that was beautiful. But It is refreshing to hear a rational Knicks fan for once and not the delusional type like Lloyd Wilson over here to my right. Josh made some pretty good points, and I tend to agree with him. I think that Tom Thibodeau is maybe cancer is going a bit far, but I do think he's definitely a detriment to this team because he does.
I wouldn't say cancer, but yeah, I think he detriment. I think he's reached the end of this era. We thank you for your service, kind of like Julius Randle. We thank you for your service.
And that's where he's going to insert the word cancer in soon.
Like, get out now. Time to leave.
It was time for Julius Randle to get out, but no, I mean, he's going to run his best players into the ground if he continues to do this, and. We're talking about solidified stars in this league, not only Jalen Brunson, who's obviously dealing with some injuries right now, but, Mikal Bridges and Karl-Anthony Towns, and obviously Mitchell Robinson, as you talked about in the beginning of the show, was dealing with that injury from the last postseason run, just kind of getting back healthy now. But not having him for majority of the season was a huge loss because, let's be honest, Karl-Anthony Towns, great shooter, great post scorer, can't defend for you-know-what. So
yes.
If you don't have Mitchell Robinson for majority of the year, it's going to be tough to compete with a lot of those top teams like the Celtics, like the Cavs, who, the Cavs have arguably the defensive player of the year, and Evan Mobley. He's obviously won it before. So it's tough. I mean, it seems like a two-horse race right now in the Eastern Conference. I do think you guys on paper have a good roster. I think you lack a little bit of depth when you get into the campaigns and the Landry Shamits of the world.
A lot of depth.
Yeah, Josh Hart, good player, don't get me wrong, but, when you're going up against teams like the Celtics and the Cavs, they just have so much star power. It's really tough to compete. So I do think you guys have a fighting chance in the postseason, don't get me wrong, but, just looking at your past 10 games, 4-6 in your past 10, it seems like you guys, just when you get hot, then you take 2 steps back. So I'm not sure really what the identity of this team is right now, aside from what the Sixers have been for the past 5 seasons, a really good regular season team. And then you get into the postseason and they find a way to choke. And you might think I hate New York teams, and I do hate some of them, but that team, I mean, you guys suffered for years on end, and you finally have a very competitive team, a well-rounded starting lineup. I'm rooting for you guys. I hope you can, at least get deep into the playoffs. Yeah, that's called growth, Lloyd. That's called growth. You should learn a thing or two.
He said we got character development.
That's a lot. That's a lot. Right?
Wow.
I'll tell you what. If there's one team I hate more than the Knicks, it's the Boston Celtics. So I hope you guys can take them down. And, the Cavs I'm indifferent about. They're just a juggernaut this year. But, yeah, I mean, I really do think that, I agree with Josh. Tom Thibodeau, he likes to run his best players into the ground. Case in point, Derrick Rose. Obviously, Jimmy Butler got out of Chicago because he didn't really want to turn into that. So, they're a nice team. They're going to be competitive. And hopefully you guys can get hot towards the end of the season into the playoffs and change the narrative. But I just don't see them going, if they get past the second round, I think they're a third round exit easy.
Wait, Danny,
staying on that
point.
What
you just said, right? You hear what you just said? Get past the second. You know we haven't been past the second round since I don't know when, but the last time we got to the second round was back in 2020. And who did we lose? We lost to the Pacers, and that's when Paul George was on the team. And then what happened last year? We get to the second round, and who do we lose to? The Pacers again.
Yeah.
So it's not even just a conference finals. Like for me, I said if we get to the finals, I'll be happy with that because that's the ceiling I see. I don't see us even winning the NBA finals. I just want to get us there.
And you're talking to somebody who's very familiar with not getting past the second round. I'm pretty sure the last time the Sixers got past the second round was
2002.
2002. Well, Iverson.
The year after they went to the finals, they lost in the Eastern Conference. No, Eastern Conference first round. So 2001.
2001. I was very close.
So I figured it out. It was 2000 for the Knicks. That was the last time they was also in the finals. 99, 2000, I believe. Yep.
I'm wrong. No, I'm wrong. It was they lost in 2000 to the Indiana Pacers because that was the part of the three-peat.
Over two. Do you see what I'm saying?
We are a pathetic bunch. We're a pathetic bunch. I mean, we're talking 25 years, 24 for me, 25 for you guys.
That's a lot of star talent just going by the organizations.
Melo, Iverson, Iguodala, the list goes on.
But on that note with Tibbs, I think with Tibbs, man, yes, he's stuck in his ways, but it just tells you who he is. He's a coach, but he's not a developer. This is why, and this is when Danny, when you were offline, but this is why, and Kenny Atkinson was in the running for a job like that because we saw the player development through the Brooklyn Nets organization with their, I guess you could say, exciting run in 2016-17 season, and you got to see guys get better throughout the season. And with Tibbs, he's a defensive-minded coach. I mean, he won won the championship with the Boston Celtics as a defensive coordinator or a defensive coach. So it's like we're bringing a guy. It's no different in football. You bring DCs to be head coaches. You bring OCs to bring head coaches. When sometimes you really just need a player's coach because he can talk to you and relay to you a different message that the OC and DC wouldn't. And he could tell you how to play the game. Yes, the OC might have been a quarterback or the DC might have been a DB, but it's their message might not get to you like a guy that knows how to motivate you. Is the reason we have motivational speakers. I'm just saying, like, there is reasons why people communicate better than others. And I think that with Tibbs, man, he communicates from a defensive oriented mindset. And when you look at the offense, it's actually Schmitz. It's terrible. It's literally just dump it down low. Everybody watch out. We saw for Julius Randle for over 3-4 years.
Jazz step, step back three.
It's ridiculous. So it's like they give him the same treatment they give Carmelo Anthony. Give him the ball, everybody out the way. Same thing with Brunson. Give him the ball, get
out the way.
Everybody move it. It's like, come on. This
to your
is not any kind of ingenuity.
To your point, Lloyd, too, I mean, when you get the right coach, when you get not only a player's coach, but a guy who has some sort of offensive prowess or offensive creativity, case in point, JJ Redick, the team will succeed, based off of
Kidd.
Yeah, Jason Kidd too. The team will succeed based off of the coach's efforts if he's really making a difference on both sides of the ball and also relating to the players in the locker room. These guys, and I'm not saying that Tibbs is doing this, but these guys aren't in college. It's a big reason as to why Rick Pitino didn't really succeed in the NBA because it's his way or the highway. He's a hard ass. He's going to drill it into you that you need to work hard. You need to do it his way. And if you don't, it's just the formula's not going to work. JJ Redick's not like that. He knows he's what? 4 years removed from the league, something like that, 5 years maybe, if that. He knows that these guys aren't going to, be receptive to that type of coaching. He's going to let them do what they want, but at the end of the day, he's going to chew into them when he's on the court coaching. You've seen JJ Redick on the sidelines. If they're not doing it his way, he's looking like a young Pat Riley out there.
Yeah. This would be my final point on Tibbs, and Mo actually brought this up and we talked about it too. Tibbs is a floor raiser. He's a floor raiser, right? He could bring it to a certain level, but at the end of the day, he can't get over the hump because of his coaching style, right? That was the reason why he was out the league for that time that he was out, especially after the post Minnesota. I think it was when he got
post
Minnesota. After that, it didn't work out. He was out the league. He was an analyst for ESPN. Yada yada yada. His coaching style does not resonate with today's NBA. So he comes to New York. Goes with the mindset that I found my right coaching style. I rehabilitate myself. I learned my lesson post Derrick Rose and Jimmy Butler and yada yada yada. You do a good job. You win Coach of the Year, get the Knicks to the playoffs, win a playoff series, win 2 playoff series. But now we're at the point where we're no longer a decent team or a good team. We're a great team. We need now when you become a great team, now we're looking at championship level status now. And Tibbs is not a ceiling raiser. He can't bring the team to the next level. So that's why I'm with it's time to move on. This was kind of a dialogue for a couple years now, but it's starting to gain traction each passing year where the Knicks kind of in a way don't live up to expectation. And this year it might be the same story where they're not living up to the expectation of making it to the conference finals.
And there's no excuse this year. That's the difference, I think. You went all in with that cat trade. You said, listen, we're looking to be a juggernaut in the Eastern Conference. We're looking to take down the Boston Celtics. So we're going to go get our guy. We're not going to rely on a Mitch Robinson the entire season. We're not going to, rely on role players such as Josh Hart and Dante DiVincenzo to carry us through the playoffs. We're going to get a solidified guy who's going to elevate us. And let's be honest, it really has not elevated the team that much.
Yeah, didn't seem. We've been for the last couple seasons now. You know what I'm saying? But we was fighting 5-4 for a couple seasons, but then now we're solidified 3. But it doesn't seem like anything and Danny brought up a beautiful point because I've been telling Josh this since last year's play, like 2 years, maybe last year's playoffs. We are not relying on Josh Hart to get us 20 in order for us to win. Because when you realize Josh Hart plays up to that point, if we got to rely on him to score, let alone do all the little things that he does already, getting a triple-double.
It's not happening.
If we have to rely on him to at least score 20 for us to win, then we're never going to see anything. It doesn't matter who it comes from, because I promise you that's exactly what happened last year. They're going to go into the same thing next year. I mean, this season, with relying on Josh Hart to be that guy, that's quote-unquote spark plug. But maybe that's what they got Mikal Bridges to be. But even with that, I'm still kind of skeptical of what they're going to make him do. You know what I'm saying? They're going to try to put him in like a Ray Allen situation, just let him just shoot threes and be that 3-and-D guy, which is still kind of scary in that situation because I don't know what that's not sustainable throughout the playoffs. It's not.
I just want to say one thing about Josh Hart real quick. I have nightmares from that man. That man was a demon against the Sixers last season. That he could not shoot a three to save his life, and then he faces my Sixers, and all of a sudden he's a sharp shooting 3-and-D guy. Where the hell did that come from?
Do you see what I'm saying now?
I haven't watched a ton of
Starks
Knicks games.
jersey.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't watched a ton of Knicks games this year. I watched some primetime ones, but has that shooting continued at all into this season?
No.
It's sporadic. I'll tell you
it's
that.
sporadic. I was about to say it's like inconsistent, but sporadic.
Exactly.
Like Josh Hart is not meant to be a shooter. Yo, he's meant to be the garbage man, the hustler. Like, just go out there, get rebounds, dive for the ball, play some defense, like make it chaotic.
In a week where they play like what 4 games, I'm just guessing, like maybe 4 to 5 games, he'll shoot like that one game out of the week, and that tells you right there, like, dang. If Josh gives us 5 threes this game and he has 20 points, let's just say, he got to the free throw line, 20 plus points, as Shomer was saying, you got to win that game. No matter what, you got to win that game because he don't do that often. So when he's feeling it, you got to win the game. But my last thought on Tibbs, man, and Danny, you weren't on air when I said this. My last thought, if he does not get out the first round, his job will be in question. He won't be fired. He'll be in jeopardy. And the reason was, and I told Shomer and I told Josh this, I'm telling this to you, Danny, is because when Leon Rose came in, he also came in. And you already know it. Same thing in football. You get a GM, you get a coach. They more likely are in together and they out together. So they are in this thing till the wheels fall off. That's my last thing with Tibbs. And last, they do have 2 years to get this done. To win a championship, their window is max 3 years. They got this year, next year, and then the year after that. Then you're gonna start seeing the salary cap restriction.
And don't forget,
they have max 3 years.
We got rid of a lot of the first rounders for Cat and Mikal.
Mainly Mikal.
I still
Mainly
think
Mikal. All them picks went to Brooklyn. All them picks we got from OKC went to Brooklyn.
That haul
Mikal was not worth 5.
I don't know. I like Mikal, but I don't know if that Mikal maybe 3 too, but
maybe
5.
3. 5 is insane.
But
Mikal can do more than Rudy Gobert. Don't get me wrong. Gobert's a good defender, but that was one of the most lopsided trades in the history of the NBA. I mean, I think we can say that. Mikal, he'll still be a good player. He'll still be solid for you guys for however many years he's with you. But that's a lopsided deal as well.
5.
This is the thing, right? This is the problem. This is the reason why the Knicks did that, right? And then we can move on from this topic. The fact that the reason the Knicks did that is because when we originally acquired those picks from OKC, we didn't really make any big splashes in the draft. None at all. We really didn't make any that said, oh yeah, that's gonna be him. Like we got Tyler Kolek, we have Deuce McBride. I don't know if he was a part of that 5-team thing, but Deuce McBride, Obi Toppin, Quentin Grimes, and I think we drafted somebody. Maybe Manuel Quickly. We also came
quickly, I think, too.
You know what I mean?
So
it's
out
like
of the 4 players, we kept 2. No, out of the 5 players, we kept 2.
And Barrett was your own pick, right?
Yeah, but he was not even.
Well, RJ wasn't a part of that. He wasn't a part of that.
RJ wasn't part of it. He wasn't part of them all them trades, but it didn't work out with RJ.
Which I also never been a Knick over in Toronto.
He should have never been a Knick. He should have never been a Knick.
RJ couldn't take it to the next level that we wanted, and plus him and Randall were the same players. They only went left. So
yes. Oh my god, I did get in JB. That's why it looked bad at the time because it was like he was a lefty too. But, but that I was proven wrong. But
it gave us flashes.
flashes that turned into nothing.
That's it.
Hey, but I hope he's doing well in Toronto. I hope he's doing well. Like, I think he's a genuinely nice guy. I hope he's doing well in Toronto, bro. All right. What else is left? What do you want to talk about? What's left?
I think we got sports. We got the sports and media. That's
yeah. So it's been a minute since we recorded it, but obviously we all were not living under a rock when Stephen A. and LeBron went head to head with each other over the Bronny and him being a bad father comments. And
I didn't want to address it. I wasn't going to address it, but since the video came out, I feel the need to address it.
You would be not to talk about it.
Are you kidding me? If there's one person that couldn't wait to the video to drop so you could address it, it's your ass. Like, seriously, it's, and like another, he completely like missed the whole point. The whole point. Never would I ever not allow people to talk about the sport, criticize players about what they do on the court. That is your job, to criticize or to, be in a position where, okay, if a guy's not performing, that is all part of the game. That's all part of the game. But when you take it and you get personal with it, it's my job to not only protect my damn household, but protect the players. And I think a lot of the media, including him, and I know he's gonna be happy as hell. He's gonna be smiling from ear to ear when he hears me talking about it again. Oh my God.
Obviously, that led to a big discussion about sports media, and all four of us who are all in sports media might as well have this conversation.
Just to take it back.
Yeah, I saw that too.
Bro, that is a sellout move. I'm like, and I posted it too. I'm like, why? Like, you should have just kept that to yourself. Why would you think going on your platform the next day, like, I was wrong? He has 17 points against a second squatted Bucks team. What are we talking about here?
It's not. I'm not trying to be that guy, but it was second squad. It's nice, but it's just like.
Yeah, they had some starters out there. He had Giannis on skates at one point. Didn't finish the bucket, but
that's second unit with one first unit guy on the team right now. That's second unit.
You know what I'm saying? Imagine Giannis didn't get subbed out. Of course, he's gonna be on the floor with a starter.
Stromer, my opinion. I'll say it for Ryan and Lloyd. I mean, not Danny. I called him Ryan. Danny and Lloyd.
Happens all the time.
But he got two first names, so his first name.
You should see. I'll email people for my job, and every single time I go, "Hi, my name is Danny Ryan," and then I end with, "Thank you for your time, Danny Ryan." And every single time I get a reply, probably not every single time, 85% of the time, "Hi, Ryan." I'm like, come on.
You're one of the very few people I know that got two first names, so it confuses me here and there. But like I was saying for Danny and Lloyd, I think Ronnie has the potential to be a good player, but I just didn't know when he came out. I didn't know how to judge him because I didn't really watch him in college. He was on the bench majority of the college season, and now you're in the league, and I'm like, I don't know. I don't know what to grade you. I don't know what you're good at. I don't know what you need to work on. And all right, so you got talent. You showed me that you got talent. That's it.
That's the perspective that Stephen A. was coming from. Like he just like
I recommend people to go watch that Gilbert Arenas interview he did with them. Because he did break it down from his point of view, whether you agree with the decision or not, on how he felt about Bronny or LeBron. We all agree Stephen A. can definitely be a dumbass and a smart ass at times, if not all the time. But it begs the question about sports media, and I'm not gonna lie. I think sports media, and I'm a part of it. I love it. Yeah, man. It's always been that dialogue about it, but now I feel like we're at a tipping point. Is now that the players are becoming sports media analysts in this way, and like you want to see the breakdown of the game. Of course, I want to hear the storylines. I'm a big story guy, right? Movies, games. I'm a big storyline guy. Of course, I want to hear the stories of the game, how we got here, and things of that nature. But I also want to understand the game because I'm not an athlete. So break it down for me in layman terms, bro. Break down the X's O's, and that's what people like John Wall did it. JJ Redick did it. Who else? Tim Ledger does it very well.
Jamal Crawford does it pretty decently.
He does it.
And
like there are plethora of people who do it, but yet mostly we get. And I feel like even Kendrick Perkins of all people can do it, but yet we always get the entertainment value out of it. But it's just like bro, I'm tired. I'm tired. I'm tired of
it's
hearing about
not just
LeBron.
basketball too, but it's also like
It's in all
all the
sports.
major sports. Let me say that
All the major sports. Like when it comes baseball season, the two teams we're gonna hear the most about gonna be the Dodgers and the Yankees. Come football, we're gonna hear nonstop Patrick Mahomes, which I get. I get it because we've all been in TV production classes. You gotta get the ratings. That's the job. But it's just
at the same time, it's like where's the interest of actually gravitating to other people that actually care about not even just their sports teams, but maybe that.
I would say.
I mean, First Take loves the Cowboys because Stephen A. hates the Cowboys,
and people love talking about or shitting on the Cowboys. So this is how I was breaking.
We lost you, Josh.
We lost you. Your mic.
I'm coming back. I'm
There
coming.
you are.
There you go.
There we go.
That's the 18 wires going on.
Still lost you.
You still.
Sorry.
No.
Let me add something real quick while we get Josh's mic back.
Go ahead, Danny.
You're 100% right. Like, it's always been about ratings. I mean, from the beginning of time, from the beginning of television, sports talk radio, sports television, it's always been about ratings. But now we live in the era of social media where it's not only about ratings, but it's about clicks and engagement. So not only are you trying to get the ratings on your show, or you're trying to get, listeners or viewers to tune into your show, but you're trying to get 30 to 45, maybe a minute clip at any point. Like whenever you can, you're trying to get this minute 15 clip that you can pump out all over social media to honestly double or triple your engagement, your clicks, and your views. So it's becoming just this hot take, manufactured take, bull crap. Yeah, culture. It's just it's not good for sports media. You can have people saying a lot of stuff they truly don't believe just because they want to be good at their job. I mean, go look at Stephen A. After that LeBron confrontation, when he came up to him, I forget what stadium that was. Like, was it the Garden? I mean,
no, it
was at
crypto.com?
Crypto.com arena.
He comes up to him there, and then what does he do after the fact? As Lloyd mentioned, he already has backpedaled his take, but then he goes on 4 podcasts after talking about the entire situation, saying how he thought it was weak, how he shouldn't have talked to him in person and confronted him like that. But he's doing it because he's just trying to lengthen out as far as possible this storyline and get as many views and capitalize on what happened.
He went on a media tour too, bro.
Yeah, no, literally. I'm saying like
it's something that could have been dead. They could have been dead within.
I had to mute it. I had to mute LeBron and Stephen A. on my timeline. I'm like, I'm tired of this, bro. Yeah. I am like, let's move on from it. Wherever you like it, wherever you think who's right, and there are people who think Stephen A. was right in terms of doing his job. There are people who think LeBron was right in terms of confronting him as a father. I don't care anymore, bro. I don't.
Yeah,
I don't. I've moved on. We at the end of the season.
At the end of the day, Stephen A. got exactly what he wanted out of that. I mean, that's LeBron threw him the alley-oop literally to get as much notoriety and as much attention and popularity as possible, and Stephen A. capitalized on it. I mean, like I worked at 94 WIP, and I'm not going to say any names. I'm not going to, but certain people do their job with the intent of growing the audience, educating the listener. And, when they did pump out digital stuff, educate the viewer. And certain people just do it to be good at their job and to achieve listeners, achieve viewership, achieve listenership. Like at the end of the day, some people just take that route and they go with the hot takes that they know is going to rile people up. And that's what a lot of, sports media is these days. You guys mentioned a few good analysts. I like Lou Williams. I think he provides a fresh perspective as well. But you don't get that with every single analyst. And you sure as hell do not get that with Stephen A. majority of the time.
No, Stephen A. is a debater. He's great. He's a great debater. Like, nothing wrong with that. It's just that if that's not true sports analyst.
Yeah.
He just talks too much sometimes.
That too.
Yeah.
It feels like sports media is whether they probably won't admit it, but it feels like all of sports media, not all. I mean, I say all. Some of sports media is headed to Skip Bayless route, bro, and that's not something you want. You remember, back in 07, 08, where you could still kind of hate on LeBron and get notoriety and clicks and views. That was Skip Bayless' whole shtick. Hate on LeBron. It's 2025. You can't hate on LeBron no more, bro. It's over. It's done. The topic is done. Over.
You've got guys on TikTok doing a whole music genre about LeBron James. Have you guys seen that? They're literally. I'm telling you. So that one guy made a LeBron song, a cover song. Right?
I know the LeBron song.
Yeah. Everyone. running with it, making their
I
own
hate that
unique
one.
cover
I
song
hate
about
that one. I ain't
LeBron.
gonna lie.
Oh. I saw Luther, LeBron Luther version yesterday, and it was well produced. Like, these people are putting some time and effort in.
Look,
Nah, they're
that's the real content.
But anyways, you're right. You just can't hate on LeBron in today's day and age, and you got to be creative with it. And a lot of people are, but yeah, it's becoming
There's
a little
dialogue, but you can't hate. If you want to say LeBron didn't do this in terms, not even do this.
Yeah.
If you LeBron, you know, I don't even know how to say, because it's like nothing you can say about LeBron in his terms, his career now. But it's just like, if you want to say LeBron could have won more, right? He could have won more. That's a fair argument, because he did lose a lot in the finals, again, especially against teams he should have beat. That's a fair argument. Nobody's gonna really argue against that. Like, it's fair, but it's just like all this other crap. Like, if you think Jordan's better, bro, Jordan's better. Okay,
that's the argument that's gonna eventually it's gonna stale out eventually. You know, the thing
And they
is
always
with
have
sports
that.
media, that's true.
That's the issue in all sports, though. They always compare future athletes to the one GOAT that no one's going to be able to reach. LeBron's going to be that next athlete, and that's going to be unfortunate for everybody coming in for the next decade.
But isn't that where great sports television even really came from in general? Just debating
the debates, the great sports
debates.
It started with, I think when it used to be like, highlights and just regular conversation, but I think when sports debate came in, because it used to be the radio debates and they brought it to television, that's where it elevated to a whole new level that we see now.
Mm-hmm. That is true. I mean, it's like the same thing in journalism. It's just new forms of just new media, not the traditional ways of just how you would internalize media. But a lot of people are going to the podcast forms. You see more players coming out in podcast form to generate to those, and not even just gravitate those that are fans of them, but let alone they're creating their own narratives of what actually is the truth for them rather than what the media portrays.
And I'm not gonna lie, that's good and bad too. It's good and bad, because
it's good and bad because
a lot of players cap like they were him. I'm like, bro, we got the stats, bro. You were not him.
But that's true. But then again, you got some podcasts that keep it real, like Jeff Teague's 520 pod. I love that podcast.
Hey, hilarious.
Jeff Teague has a story. I feel like that guy was involved in every single notable NBA story of all time. Like, he's got a perspective from every single notable NBA story. But I just want to say,
go ahead.
What were you gonna say?
I was gonna say that Paul George story is the best one, where he missed the shot and his teammate played the commercial. He was like,
right, exactly.
Ball game,
yeah.
I'll just say one last thing about sports media. The only type of sports media I consume at this point really is local sports talk radio, Pardon My Take, and Pat McAfee Show. And what I think Pardon My Take and Pat McAfee Show have in common is, they're not manufacturing these takes ahead of time. They're not sitting in a pre-show meeting trying to say, okay, what's going to get these ratings today? What's going to get these people riled up and tuning in? They're just saying, listen, we're going to put out some good content. We're going to be candid about it. We're going to curse if we want to. Obviously, Pat McAfee has to chill with that and censor it sometimes when they're on ESPN.
Now that he's on ESPN.
Right.
And just that, he got chill sometimes on a lot of stuff.
Right. But it's very refreshing to see candid sports talk, and in a relaxed setting. These guys are just boys spitting ball, talking ball, and it comes across great. So I think we've kind of moved on, at least I have, from the traditional. Again, I'll say, the traditional and the manufactured takes that, you pretty much brew up to get clicks and get views.
Yeah. And honestly, ESPN is a dream job still of mine. I want to work there, of course. Most of us do. But it's like, bro, it's entertainment. The E in ESPN stands for entertainment.
Yeah.
Their job is a lot of big sports companies, Fox, ESPN, NBC, are catered to casuals. We trying to get the casuals to come watch. We know the diehards are gonna come watch no matter what. So let's get these casuals in and keep them entertained for longer.
Yo, I think this man LlOYD is grubbing right now.
What is he doing, bro? You just got up off the couch. What are you doing, bro? We are
LlOYD.
I'm getting ready for my game.
Oh, I forgot. Yeah, you do got it.
You got work. You got to go work.
Okay.
Just to go to the free throw line 10 times. But go ahead.
Just to brick some layups.
Hey, you see the stat sheet. But anyways, no, I totally agree with the regulars, like Josh was saying, because usually when they're on the air, they're not just addressing obviously the local fan, they're addressing the topics that most people want to hear about, whether it be the Cowboys, Patrick Mahomes, who's the GOAT, who's the best. Like, it's stuff that a real sports fan will get tired of hearing on a daily basis. But if you're a casual and you're listening in for the first time, and you're hearing Stephen A. Smith get into a heated debate with now Mad Dog or Ryan Clark, you're like, oh, well, these guys are really going at it.
Yeah,
That's true.
And
Shannon
it's just
Sharp.
like that, or Shannon Sharp. And then that's when they start to use those things to pump out whatever they want to, whether it be the stuff that Shannon be doing. What do you say? Lakers and 5. Like, you get
Yeah,
right, and you,
It's
UFC, KFC, OKC,
Right.
Lakers are 5.
It's the
But-
literal
but-
definition of clip farming at this point.
Yeah,
yes,
why I
that's
said
all
it's
they're
like
trying to
really cool.
do. Because if
That's
you're
really
tuning in for the first time, you're like, whoa, these guys are entertaining. When a real sports fan's like, bro, we've been hearing this for like 5 years. Can they bring
Yeah.
something else? And the whole debating aspect of sports at this point it can kind of get exhausting because everyone has their own freaking opinion on a player. Whether you lived in an era, you didn't live through an era, everybody has their own idea of what a GOAT is. Just like in our era, we can look at Steph Curry as the GOAT, LeBron, Kobe. Like
Yep.
it can be multiple players. But every old head, and I think either Danny or Josh mentioned this, every old head is gonna say that obviously MJ was the GOAT. So I'm just like, what is the point of us talking or debating about sports all the way into 2025? I feel like someone like Pat McAfee, like Danny just mentioned, a more candid base setting. I think that's where sports should be heading at this point. Because what are we debating the same? What are we debating the same thing? We listen to we listen to First Take, Get Up, everything, every year. All right, man, will this team be a repeat this year?
Yeah.
So tell me why. What the heck? Why I gotta continue to hear why he tells me why this team is gonna be a championship team?
Right. And at the end of the day, like these people, these analysts, they need to realize they have their opinion, but they don't know bleep at the end of the day. Like, let's be honest. They're preaching to the choir, you know, they're trying to get people to agree or disagree with them. Whereas Pat McAfee, he kind of acknowledges that, he gives his opinion, doesn't act like it's the nothing but the truth. And he also incorporates his personality and cracks jokes along the way and makes it lighthearted and gives the viewers a reason to continue to tune in. You know, with a lot of these other shows, they're so serious. They're acting like they're lawyers up there or attorneys saying, everything they're saying is 100% factual and that you have to, like, it's gospel. No, it's not. It's your opinion, and that's fine. But don't sit up there and act like everything you have to say is the only thing or the only way a person can think about that topic.
The only time those people come into play and the only time those people actually are important is when it's free agency time, off-season time, in-season moves. That is literally the only, I guess, like purpose they serve at that point. And even Stephen A. Smith and them to a point. Like, they're there as a puppet to pretty much yell, scream, and be so-called entertaining. But at some point, it's like, bro, we can get sick of that. Majority of people can get annoyed with that. But then again, I don't think that will die out until, again, we have maybe more shows like a Pat McAfee show where people can really just talk about.
I think we're getting those, the Pat McAfees, the Gilbert Arenas, the Jeff Teagues, the
that's the traction I'm
having a brain. JJ Redick's podcast. He had both him and LeBron and the old man in the 3. They're like, athletes are starting to create, even athletes who are currently playing are like, yo, bro, I'm starting my podcast, bro.
I would ask for LlOYD's opinion, but it seems like he's a very
he's in the elevator, bro. So we could go ahead and wrap it if we had an hour. So
yeah. Okay.
We definitely gonna have them. We definitely have them. Yeah, we'll definitely have y'all back on again. So
for sure, this is a lot of fun, guys.
Yeah,
it's been way too long though. We don't gotta can't be strangers like we were before. You know what I'm saying?
We got to link up. We got to get more. That's what we try to turn ATB kind of like to Offsides 2.0. So we try to get trying to get the Roman alums to get back on it. So we also aiming to get Butler on here too. I gotta find a day to get Butler on.
I don't know how I'm gonna get. I gotta hit him up. I gotta see where
I got his number 2, and we try to get as many guests like from friends and mutuals and just anybody that can just to talk ball, talk ball and just offer your takes in sports, man. We say ATV is a safe space. Just let Luke go ahead. Say what you say. You got to get off your chest.
You're not kidding though. This past hour has been fun. I mean, literally just spitballing about every single topic, hopping from topic to top. You guys got to get Nick Earnshaw on here too.
Yeah, I've
I
been
gotta
trying to
get
find time. I've been trying to find a time for Nick too. So Nick is constantly busy. So shout out Nick, man, doing great things over at what is it, 97.3 ESPN?
Yeah, 97.3 ESPN.
97.3. Yeah, he's doing a great job, man.
Community college as well too, right?
Yeah, he is the station coordinator, station manager, station coordinator, whatever the correct title is over at Camden County College Radio. So he's killing it over there. But yeah, he's just doing sideline reporting for ESPN Plus Lacrosse. Last night, I saw he got posted by the Lacrosse Network Instagram that had like 650,000 followers. So he's jam-packing his schedule whenever he can.
Yeah, he is. He is definitely one. We got a lot of people like Sam, Jack Miller doing great things. Aiden Doc has Doc is doing his own like a little TV show for I think RTN where he breaks down the play. So it's like everybody killing it. So shout out to everybody at Rowan, man, Sports Camp Program, man. Y'all doing great things. Keep working, man. But yeah, we definitely gonna get everybody. We're gonna try and get as many people on here as we can. But Danny, man, tell the people where they can find you, man.
Yeah, so I mean, I'm not too active on Twitter these days ever since I left 94 WIP, but I still work at 97.3 ESPN on Sundays in the locker room with Billy Schwein. You can follow me on Twitter at DannyRye02. That's Danny RY02. If you want to follow me on Instagram, Danny Ryan 2_. And I've kind of taken a brief hiatus from the sports media world for time being, overworking at Rowan University, our alma mater, doing a lot of content stuff there, working for the social media team. So I'm excited about that. Excited for that new journey in my life. And fellas, like I said, it's been a lot of fun. I'm definitely excited to hop on again, hopefully in the near future, but I appreciate you having me on. It was nice catching up.
Of course. Thank you, Danny.
Always.
You're welcome back anytime. And, we're definitely once the playoff starts, so just be ready for that one. All right, so
I'll keep my phone strapped. I got you.
We're gonna get y'all back for the playoffs too. We got a lot to talk about when it comes playoffs because that's when ATB gonna probably be this most active. Yeah. But hey man, it's been our ATB Jobs, ATB SHOM. Y'all know what to do, man. Hit that follow button, hit that like button, leave a comment as well as if you like the show. Also, man, follow us on the socials. ATB on Instagram, ATB on Twitter. We got a Blue Sky account yet, Shomer, or nah?
No, not yet. But we get it. We get in there.
Got it. We'll get in there. That translates to one of these days. But man, it's been ATB Jobs, ATB SHOM, Danny Ryan, Lloyd, who had to get ready to go to work, bro. We are out of here, man. I hope y'all have a great day. Thank y'all for staying and watching us this entire time. Make sure y'all share us with y'all friends and family. We out of here.
We are gone.